Hello and welcome to Hi, I'm Mallory. If you're new here, I'd love to welcome you to my world, so don't forget to subscribe. Pardon the dinosaur back there with that weird hat. I'm thinking of selling that. I've been putting items on my Depop shop. Nothing's really sold yet, but I'm gonna add more items, and then like the link is always down below. This isn't a video about that. That hat just reminded me of it. I'm down in my basement. Obviously, my mom's gone to bed. It is 12:18, so it is Boxing Day. It's the day after Christmas, and I've like been putting off a lot of feelings and thoughts. Because if I think about them, like, I'll like cry and sob. And on Christmas Eve, I didn't want to wreck my makeup, you know. So I'm like, I can't be sad. I can't be sad. And then like today, like I still like from like yesterday, like eye makeup on. It's probably a little like ill, and like sorry for my sniffling. I got allergies from being in this basement. Like again, I'm like, don't wreck your eye makeup. So I just kind of wanted to check in with y'all, since like I think it was last week maybe I did a video called Getting Emotional About Christmas, and I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts and feelings on a whole of like this whole like holiday weekend. I know I talked about it like in bits and bobs, but now that it is officially the day after, I thought I'd share a little more info on Christmas, since I don't think I did earlier in much length or details. Yeah, so pardon me, I feel like this camera is like slightly crooked, and you know me and crooked cameras, it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it. I could be dead wrong, or it just could be the way I'm holding this camera. But we'll just bypass anything that's making me uncomfortable right now, so I can talk to you guys. And I also want to know how you're doing, and how are your holidays? And then Christmas, Hanukkah, I believe Kwanzaa started. So anything that y'all celebrate, or if you're just having a fun festive time, how's it going? Let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys, and it's really been like fun, honestly, like chatting with y'all. So love those comments. And so obviously like my sleep patterns and whatnots have not returned. My insomnia is in full-fledged. I mentioned in my last video that, or one of them, honestly, like everything's like all blur right now. I only got like 4 hours and 46 minutes of sleep, because you know me, I'm up till like anywhere between like 4:30 and 5, and then I had to get up early. So Christmas Eve, I talked about Christmas Eve, and it was like really good but really exhausting. I'm pretty sure I did. It's really good and really exhausting. And then at like 9 o'clock this morning, Hunter woke me up, and he's like, time to get up, Aunt Mallory, Merry Christmas. And he did it last year. He woke me up, and I'm just like, oh, kid, no, it's too early. But clearly I wouldn't miss my nephews opening up their gifts for the world, and for me to give out my presents to them and to my parents and to my brother and his wife. So, which I think y'all saw snippets of that, and me trying to open stuff, and y'all saw what I got for Christmas. And there's more stuff coming on the way for me and for James, and my mom and my grandma, and I think that's it. And a lot of it's coming Tuesday, so that's good. Don't have to wait too long. And more stuff will be coming, because I got a gift card from Sephora, and I haven't looked to see like what amount's on there, because I'm gonna try to not like spend over the amount on there. I usually use them as like coupons and go crazy, and I don't want to do that. And luckily I'm not like really hankering for something. I feel like I'd have to like really search the site or like the app on my phone to see like what's new or what's out there, or what's something I'm running low on that like I'll just use as a gift card and get me more like facial cleanser or like hair conditioner or what have you. Not that I need that. But you know what I mean? So I don't know. What I really want, is when I last checked, it was out of stock or like no longer available. I don't know, but whatevs. That's how I feel right now, like stressed out, tired, and just like a lot of different emotions. Which again, like I've been walling off because I'm like, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to lose it, and maybe later I'll lose it. Like I feel like certain things like will make me lose it, and I feel like I might need to just have like a good old fashioned cry and like release all this like that's in me like out, and call it a day. Like, but anyways, so Christmas morning was exhausting. But it's fun and it's cute. Like the boys knew they were going to Disney World for their birthday and they're so excited, but they didn't know that their grandparents and I were coming with them. We wanted to keep it a surprise, so at breakfast I read a note from Mickey Mouse saying like, surprise, like, oh, you're coming to Disney and I can't wait to see you. And they were like, at first I didn't get that we were going to be there at the same time. They're just like, oh, like you're going to Disney too? And then my mom's like, tell them when you're going to be there. And when I told them, they're like, oh, they put two and two together. It was the same time that they're there. So they were like so excited. And I think as it gets closer and they have more time to process everything, like they're going to be even more excited, and it's all they're going to be talking about, because I think there was already a lot of excitement going on that it was hard to process. Like, we're going to Disney and like grandma and grandpa and Aunt Mallory are coming. So looking forward to that. This time so I would have like my hat, even though it's a little small, my Minnie Mouse hat, and my two new Disney shirts. So fun stuff from Santa. And after the boys left, like I've been proud of myself, and I hope I can keep like my momentum going in the new year. My mom and dad like went to lay down for a bit, actually, and no, they left. I lied. Sorry. My mom went for a walk. My dad went to lay down. I went and filmed a video. Actually got like Christmas videos up like on Christmas, like, and like the next day. Like, can you believe it? Like, I'm finally on time. I definitely was not on time last year, and I probably was pretty close to being on time the years before, but like I feel like I'm like right on the money this year, so I'm like, yeah. And then after lunch, my dad like went back for a little more of a nap, and my mom took a nap, and I went upstairs and actually like edited a video, and like I messed up, so I had to like redo it. I was editing like 2 videos. I was like uploading things, and then I took a nap. And my mom and I were like out cold. It took me a minute to fall asleep despite being exhausted, because I still don't have window treatments, and it was like a bright and sunny out, so like the sunlight was hitting my eyeballs, and I'm just like, no, go away. So eventually I came to, and it was like, we had to like leave for my grandma's in 3 minutes, and I was still in like my pajamas at this point, and which I can't wait to get into. I'm still in my like gold and black outfit here, and so I went downstairs to see if my mom was awake yet, and she was like trying to wake up, and then we like rushed to get ready, and then as you saw a snippet of that, running around the house trying to get everything to go to my grandma's, and then it wasn't until, because like I had this whole thing, I was like gonna film at my grandma's house, all this stuff like I do every year, and unless it's at like my aunt's house, but I was like, well, my camera battery isn't like charged, I'll just charge it at my grandma's. I can use my phone, like it'll be fine. I'm working out all the logistics of filming Christmas with the fam for y'all to enjoy me enjoying Christmas. Hopefully that didn't come off like selfish or in a weird kind of braggadocious way. And then as we were like, we were in the car, my mom and I, and we're like approaching my grandma's house, and she told me that my grandma had fallen and said she looks like she got into a fight. So I'm like, did she win the fight? So I hadn't seen my grandma yet. My mom was like giving me like forewarning, and so we get into the house, and as soon as I see my grandma, I'm like, oh boy, can't be filming this, and I don't think she'd want this on camera. Like, she did not look good, and like we said, it got a little dicey there, and we were thinking maybe she had to go to the emergency room, and she's still trying to figure out what the hell had happened to her. And then it was like, as my mom mentioned, like my cousin, it made him queasy, and he went back home. My other cousin was still making chocolate chip cookies. So and then like my dad was like getting queasy, and he kept like having, and like in the squeamish, kept having to leave the room, and it was like making me a little nauseous. So everyone lost their appetite. Like, it was just so sad to see my grandma like that. I'm like, it's Christmas, like everyone's supposed to be here, and not everybody was, and the mood was very like somber and just like not at all festive, not at all like, not a lot of laughing, not a lot of fun, not a lot of, you know, it was very stressful. And I almost went home myself because it was like almost too much for me to handle, but I'm like, I can't just abandon my grandma. So I'm like, I gotta tough this out. I was like, I almost just went outside, you know, just to like catch myself, give myself a break. I almost called my therapist, which I might do that. I might just tell her the events of the holiday when I see her on the 18th of January. But I mean, thinking about it just makes me nauseous. Honestly, that's what I'm feeling right now. And like it was just a lot of weird feelings, and just trying to figure out like what was going on and what to do. And it's grossing me out a little bit, 'cause she was like bleeding, and you could tell that. And I'm sorry if this is like a little TMI or whatever, but we gave her some ice, and it was like ice in a Ziploc bag that we then wrapped in a towel, and I gave it to her, and she like, you know, was putting it on her head, and then she took it down for a second, and I was like, whew. So and we were trying not to like alarm her, you know, so I like went in the kitchen, and I said to my mom, I'm like, she's bleeding, and there's like blood on the towel. I'm like, ooh. So then there was talk of like she might need a butterfly band-aid, like we need stuff. So my dad and I hopped in the car, and we there's like this one traffic light, and we always get red. Always get that red light, and it's kind of a long one, but not as long as like the ones in Florida. And while we're there, like we're seeing them like close, like pull the thing down, and almost was like, let's just go through a red light. But I'm like, because I said to my dad, I'm like, let's just like, you know, high-foot it, or whatever the terminology is. So put the pedal to the metal. So as soon as the light was green, like we flew in to the Rite Aid, flew into a parking spot, and the guy was like literally about to like pull the thing all the way down and like lock the store up. And this was like our only hope, because all the like urgent care places nearby were closed, and my grandma definitely did not want to be hauled off to the emergency room and like go to the hospital on Christmas, and I don't blame her. So I looked at this guy, and I was like, my grandma fell, she's bleeding, she needs band-aids, butterfly band-aids. He's like, aisle 3. I'm like, thank you. And so like I'm running, and my dad's rushing behind me, and we're like grabbing all this first aid stuff. We go home, and like throughout the night, her face, like her forehead and her eye kept like morphing. I'm not gonna go into details because it was like creeping me out, but her poor eye was just like so swollen, like she couldn't really see, and she wasn't feeling good. And my mom now has like a cold or something, and it was just very like weird. Christmas was just very weird. Like yesterday was great, and I'm glad we had yesterday, and I'm glad the boys got to see my grandma yesterday, like looking good and upright and all that, because this was scary. Like honestly, like I said, the Rocky movie, that like whew. So it's just weird, like none of us had like any appetite, but somehow I managed to eat my dinner. But I was like beyond exhausted. But my mom and my dad, my mom and I, my dad, the three of us were the last to like stay because we wanted to keep an eye on my grandma and make sure like she really didn't like clobber herself. Because my one cousin was gonna come back later and spend the night with her, so we just wanted to make sure like it was all good and that we took care of everything because we didn't want her getting up and trying to like to handle the dishwasher, the washing machine, like putting things away and risking falling again. So I was just like falling asleep on the couch a little bit. I was just gonna stop yawning. She's like, go home, get some rest. And it's so luckily my dad, you know, has office closed tomorrow, so my mom has the day off and she can take my grandma to the doctor and get looked at because it's a good idea, you know, and hopefully all goes well through the night. But my there was one point, and then again it's just the four of us, and my grandma's just like reliving like last year and last Christmas, and like my grandfather like being in the wheelchair, and just like everything was just like not pretty. And part of me is glad, like, you know, I didn't have to see that again, but it's like one more Christmas and another man down. And it just felt weird and empty and hollow, and not like the good kinds like in the nail polishes, but you know, it just felt really like weird and not like Christmas at all. Christmas Eve felt more like Christmas. And I made a joke because you know, when everyone's like stressed out and sad, like I somehow managed to like crack everyone up because my grandma looked really bad. So I said to my dad, I said, well, at least she didn't get run over by a reindeer, because if you know that Christmas song, my grandma got run over by a reindeer. So then he thought that was a good joke, apparently, not that I was trying to be like making one. Just the thought just came to me, so now we're telling people and everyone's laughing and joking about doing a YouTube video, like, let's like film grandma like the way she is and dub that song in, and but clearly we're all just joking. I'm not doing that. Because then my cousin was like, I said to him like, yeah, how would we do this? He's like, oh, what do you use? I'm like, I have Adobe. He's like, yeah, my friend's teaching me Final Cut. So I'm like, so yeah, anyways, it was like weird. And then like we were just like, well, imagine if like my grandfather was there and this had all had happened. Like, that wouldn't have been good either. That would have been stress and everything, and he would have been freaking out, and everybody would like, it would have been a mess. 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 And then my mom and I, you know, we came home and I opened up some stuff as y'all saw, and filming things that if I have any energy, I'm gonna upload and try to edit tonight. If not, I'll do it tomorrow, but I want to at least get like the ball rolling. So because I'm like I'm doing so good right now, I'm staying on top of stuff that I don't want to like fall too far behind. And maybe I have a feeling tomorrow I'm just gonna be like in a zombie. I'll be a zombie in a coma, and I'm probably not gonna do much or go anywhere. So I might just take tomorrow to just edit stuff. Like I said to myself, you know what? You don't have to upload everything you have, but just as long as you have it edited and it's ready whenever you want to post it, like that'll take some stress off you. So that's what I might do. Honestly, like I don't know. It was just like, what a day, right? Last Christmas a lot of crazy ish went down, and there's times where like my therapist, she's like, oh, I wish you an uneventful week, like nothing exciting. It wasn't ever. And then like this Christmas it was like, oh boy. And then of course everyone having different opinions on things regarding my grandma, and like, I don't know, but it was something, I tell you. And I mean, I don't know how I'm still going strong here. Not really, I'm like really tired, but I did want to come on here and just say like Christmas was not really Christmas. It didn't really feel like Christmas, and like my grandma not feeling good and like everything. It was really bizarre. Like, here's the bizarre thing, right? Everything that I was opening, I knew what it was. I picked it out. My grandma gave me a budget and said, just get what you want, and like, I'm spending X amount of money on you. So I'm like, okay, and that's what I did. But usually there's a lot of excitement and hubbub going on, and people like handing people gifts, and like it's more like as you've seen in past videos. And it wasn't like that at all. And then you know, the nice surprise was my grandma gave me a check. You know, who doesn't love getting money? So then I got myself some more stuff. Not just all nail polishes. I think I mentioned I went like a little ham on the nail polishes on Amazon, but I got like 1 or 2 other things, non-nail polish related, or even nothing to do with the fingernails at all, but mostly polishes. And so it's just like very weird, like, because my grandma like didn't really know what like I had picked out for myself, and she didn't really ask or anything, and I was just like trying to get people's attention, like, oh, look at my cute little Minnie Mouse hat and whatnot. And I don't know, it was like a very weird Christmas, and kind of like sad and depressing. I don't know. I mean, we had some chuckles and stuff at dinner, but like, it was very weird. It was very weird. That's the only way I can describe Christmas this year, is that it was weird. I think it's gonna, and like, this is the last Christmas like at my grandma's house, because she's gonna be moving next year, so it's just like weird. Everything is weird. That's like the word of the evening, is weird, or day, seeing as it's 12:40. What are we in AMs now? So yeah. And then poor George Michael, oh my gosh, I was at my grandma's, and like my friend Jessie texted me, did you hear like George Michael died? I was like, no. And then someone on Facebook like said, did you hear about George Michael? And I was like, yeah. Everyone seems like sad about him. Like, it's such a shame, you know. Nobody wants to deal with all that, but personally never knew the guy, obviously, but it's a shame and it's sad, because it's like, it's a holiday. So this video is getting long, and I am very tired, and there's like 1 or 2 more things I need to do before I head on upstairs and put on my pajamas, crawl into bed with my laptop, and just go from there, because I am like beat. Like, I am like, stick me with the fork, I'm done. So if y'all have any comments, questions,